Absence is an interesting word. It has two meanings that are similar but very different. It can mean being away from, or it can mean a non-existence or a lack of. In its being away from, it's used in the common phrase of absence makes the heart grow fonder. But I want to speak more about the other aspect of absence, the non-existence or the lack of. You see, the lack of or the absence of good doesn't leave evil any more than the absence of evil leaves good. Absence is something that doesn't really make an impact in this way. It's not an opposite. We must be proactive to produce good or to produce evil. The absence of an opinion doesn't mean that there is nothing there to think about. It simply means that you've not taken the time to think about something. And there's a lot going on in the world today, and there is a lot of absence of opinion on what's going on. General acceptance of things without the opinion, the absence of opinion. It's like hiding your head in the sand and letting everything go on around you. But we must form opinions because they're important. There are things going on in the world today which I believe are going to impact our liberty, our freedom, our birthrights. And many people choose to have an absence of opinion about this. They're just carried along like driftwood in a stream. But it is important that we wake up and realize that today there are many, many restrictions in our lives that didn't exist just 50 years ago, and definitely not 100 years ago. And now there's a movement afoot to take away the freedom of choice from the individual. And if an individual has no freedom of choice, there is an absence of freedom of choice, then that individual has lost all his rights. He becomes like cattle in a field, to be used, may be kept comfortable for a period of time, until there is no further purpose for that existence in the eyes of the farmer. Do you really want to have vaccinations imposed upon you? Maybe you do. Maybe you think it's the right thing. Maybe some of the restrictions and the enforcements that have come in are beneficial. But how far should we allow them to go? Should we allow it to be mandatory for our children to be vaccinated, even if we don't wish them to be? Should it be allowed that we are forced to be tracked everywhere we go, whether we like it or not? To be tagged like the cattle in the field, so that we can be traced and kept comfortable until we have no further use? If there is an absence of concern about this, then we must accept the consequences. Absence of thought, absence of good, absence of right, absence of peace, of hope, absence of liberty, absence of love are not what we should be allowing. We should make a stand against those absences. And that's my thought for the day. God bless.